بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما. سبحانك اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم ارحمنا بالقرآن واجعل القرآن حجة لنا ولا حجة علينا. آمين يا رب العالمين. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, we are on the today. Inshallah we'll continue our Tuhfatul Atfal session. Alhamdulillah. Just want to check everyone. Can you hear me all right in the Zoom? If you can check, yes. Alhamdulillah. 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 I hope everyone are doing well. Hope your family are doing well in this situation, and I hope you all in a high state of iman, inshallah. And today is our in the Tuhfatul Atfal 10th session, and inshallah we will. So just bear with me. Inshallah we'll discuss. We'll touch aqsam wal mad lazim, which in theory is the last section or last of the theory in terms of tajweed within Tuhfatul Atfal. Alhamdulillah. And alhamdulillah, we have completed about 9 sessions. So inshallah, 2 more like today, Mad Lazim. And after that, on the next session, we'll touch the Khatimah, the closing, the conclusion, and maybe with a little bit of review of all of the session from the first until the 10th. So if you have any question, we can discuss them on the next session as well, inshallah. Yeah, that's pretty much. And maybe before into the agenda, if you still remember, inshallah, we'll be giving away 2 Quran translations in English. So to be able to get that, just do all of the quiz. Even if you haven't done the first one, that's fine. We inshallah we'll share the links, and there will be a final feedback form. Once you've done that, inshallah, we'll draw 2 names, one from brother and one from sister, to get this Quran, inshallah. It's a Quran in English modern translation, and no Arabic, just English, and it's in a theme base. So you can read in kind of like a novel in paragraph, so you know which where to stop when you're reading, what are the themes and what are the surah talking about. And even before receiving that final feedback form links, if you have any feedback, any question, feel free to send us a note. And for the brothers, you can WhatsApp to my number or in the group, or for the sister, you can chat in the group, or even just WhatsApp sister copy. And at the agenda, we'll review the last session, the previous session, and we'll touch the new topic, which is types of Mad Lazim. Inshallah, this is, and if you have any questions, especially in the Zoom, people in the Zoom, feel free to put your question on the chat any time. And this was the topics that we have covered so far in Tuhfatul Atfal. So in Tuhfatul Atfal, if you have attended one of the earlier session, Tuhfatul Atfal, a tajweed book, a short tajweed book based on a poem base, and in general divided in 2 sections. So two main sections. The first one is about Nun sakina, including mim sakina, tanween, and so on, which is the green color, and the other 50%, the other half, is around mad, types of mad, the rules of mad, and last but not least, the types of mad lazim. That's in big picture. And as I mentioned, if you still remember from the last session, that's just a portion of tajweed, not all of the tajweed, but this covered like most of the rules in tajweed. So it doesn't cover like the makharij al-huruf, the makhraj, the exit points, the sifat. But in terms of rules, at least this cover most of it, especially the method. And just to review from the previous session, like the two previous sessions, we discussed aqsamul mad, which is the types of mad, and there are how many types of mad? There are two. There are two types of mad. Two types of mad. Mad asli and mad far'i. In aqsamul mad. Aqsamul mad, mad asli and mad far'i. Asli, tabi'i, which natural mad. So it's natural, like where in Arabic when you say let's say hada, that's there. The hada, that's there are some long vowels, and the long vowels you say naturally. Hada kitab, kitabun, kitab, or ya Musa, that's natural mad. So we don't say hadihi, or that's like too long. So like two harakat, that's natural, or tabi'i, that's mad asli, and the second one is mad far'i, which we covered maybe before that. Mad asli, like in this word, nuhiha, nuhiha. So three letters of mad, wayin, wa, y, y, waw, alif, yeah, that's the three letters of mad. So if fatha, after fatha is alif, after kasrah, ya sukun, after dhamma, waw sukun, that's where the mad tabi'i, mad asli, mad tabi'i will occur. Ha, like he, no, he, ha. That's mad tabi'i. And mad far'i, in the previous session we have discussed mad far'i. In there are three rules. Lil madi ahkamun thalathatun. There are three. Wajib, jaiz, lazim. So the mad name, mad muttasil, which is anyone remember what is muttasil means? Mad muttasil? Yeah, as in the mad, it's connected mad. The word is connected, as in the mad and hamza is connected like within one word. Ja'a, that's one word. And munfasil means disconnected. So as in the mad and hamza are disconnected. And today we're going to touch mad lazim. Maybe just quickly read the previous one. Ahkamul mad, the previous one. Ahkamul mad, lil maddi ahkamun thalathatun tadum, وهي الوجوب والجواز واللزوم فواجب إن جاء همز بعد مد في كلمة وذا بمتصل يعد وجائز مد وقصر إن فصل كل بكلمة وهذا المنفصل ومثل ذا إن عرض السكون وقفا كتعلمون نستعين أو قدم الهمز على المد وذا بدل كآمنوا وإيمانا خذاه ولازم إن السكون أصلا وصلا ووقفا بعد مد طولا. That's the rules of mad. أحكام المد: واجب, جائز, لازم. And today we're going to touch mad lazim. And in this one we have in the last session, that green, it's that's a mad sign. That's a mad sign. It was evolving from, initially it was mim and dal, which is mad. Then along the way, mim dal, the blue one, along the way the mim was removed, become just like the red one. As you can see, that's mim dal. That's the old mad sign, and then remove the mim, and then in today's Quran, today's Mushaf, the sign, just that green line. That's the mad sign, the mad sign. And was the summary from previous session. So mad muttasil, wajib, the rules are wajib, mad muttasil, like this one. إذا جاء, إذا جاء, and we can count with our fingers. Ja, like 4 count, or four beats, 4 count, 4 harakat. So you can read 4 or 5, but make sure it's consistent. Inshallah, with 4 it's easier, because if you do 4 in wajib or in muttasil, you do 4 in munfasil, then in mad arid sukun you can also do 4. So it's consistent, it's easier for you to count. So that's the muttasil, that's the munfasil. Muttasil ja'a, the word, the hamza is within the same word, within one word with the mad. So the mad is fatha, then alif, that's mad, ja, that's mad, then after mad it's hamza. That's where mad munfasil will occur. But in munfasil, 2 words. Inna, that's 1 word. A'tayna, that's the 2nd word. But as I mentioned, if you don't really know, in terms of if you don't want to learn too detail and just want to know how to read properly, as in how to read with tajweed, as long as you can notice the reason, like that's a mad and then followed by hamza, just read with 4 or 5 harakat. You don't need to differentiate between munfasil and muttasil. That's fine. If that's too hard at this stage, like if you're starting, that's fine, as long as you know, oh, that's a mad sign, that's the hamza, mad, after mad is hamza, and that's mad sign, just read with 4 or 5. And mad arid lisukun, anyone remember what is mad arid lisukun? What is arid lisukun? Arid lisukun is a temporary sukun. Temporary sukun. So temporary sukun, as in, because if you stop, so if you continue wa iyyaka nasta'in uhdina, if the followed by the next ayah, but if you stop there, if you want to waqaf with iskan, then you replace the dhamma, replace with sukun. So that means that's a temporary sukun. And in Arabic, it's arid al-sukun. Sukun arid, temporary sukun. Arid sukun, and that's mad arid al-sukun. Mad arid al-sukun, you can read with 2, 4, or 6 harakat. So wa iyyaka nasta'in, that's 2 harakat. Wa iyyaka nasta'in, 4 harakat. Wa iyyaka nasta'in, 6 harakat. inshallah. So I hope everyone still remember that the previous session. Yeah, this was the previous session. Any questions so far before we continue with Mad Lazim? Just quickly check. No. Okay. Sounds good. Okay. And Mad Lazim, in Ahkamul Mad Lazim, in the previous session, actually the last verse, the last line was actually talking about Mad Lazim. ولازم إن السكون أصل وصلا ووقفا بعد مد طويلة. And lazim, as in Mad Lazim, if the sukun is permanent, whether it's wasl or waqf. So Mad Arid li sukun is temporary sukun. But if it's a permanent sukun, then the rows become lazim. And Mad Lazim is 6 harakat. Mad Lazim is 6 harakat. Actually, in all of the Quran, yeah, in other style recitation, also 6 harakat. What are the examples? Later we will see. But Mad Lazim has, in Tuhfat al-Atfal, has their own like lines or verses just focusing on Mad Lazim. So I'll read that one. أقسام المد اللازم, types أقسام مد لازم, types of مد لازم, the division of the مد لازم. أقسام لازم أقسام لازم لديهم 4 وتلك كلمي وحرفي معه كلاهما مخفف مثقل فهذه 4 تفصل فإن بكلمة سكون اجتمع مع حرف مد فهو كلمي وقع أو في ثلاثي الحروف وجد والمد وسطه فحرفي بدا كلاهما مثقل إن أدغم مخفف كل إذا لم يدغم ولازم الحرفي أول السور وجوده وفي 8 انحصر يجمعها حروف كم عسل نقص وعين ذو وجهين والطول أخص وما سوى الحرف الثلاثي لا ألف فمده مدا طبيعيا ألف وذاك أيضا في فواته السور في لفظ حي طاهر قد انحصر ويجمع الفواتها 14 صله سحيرا من قطع كذا اشتهر. Inshallah, this is quite a long lines, just everything just on Mad Lazim. But in summary, so sorry, this one, yeah. So we take slowly. So types of Mad Lazim. So Mad Lazim. Here, Sheikh Sulaiman Al-Jamzuri said the types of Mad Lazim. There are Arba'ah. Arba'ah is 4. 4. They mentioned ولازم لديهم 4 وتلك كلمي وحرفي. So they are globally they are lazim kilmi and harfi. Kilmi kalima is word, harfi is letters. And he further explains both of them, kilmi and harfi, they have mukhaffaf and muthaqqal. So kilmi and harfi, and each of them has mukhaffaf, muthaqqal. So the 4 are actually lazim kilmi mukhaffaf, lazim kilmi muthaqqal, lazim harfi mukhaffaf, lazim harfi muthaqqal. So later we will discuss, but in general, kilmi is the word, kalimah word, harfi is letters, mukhaffaf, khafif is light, thaqal is heavy. So let's take it slowly. So mad lazim is the mad that occur because of permanent sukun. So mad followed by a permanent sukun, and there are two types in general: kilmi and harfi. So what is kilmi? So kilmi is in kalima, in the words of Quran, in the words of Quran. So for example, like this one, maybe I'll just read this quickly. Oh yeah, this is just the explanations of what is lazim kilmi. That is when a sukun joins a letter of mad in a single word. So like this one, like al-ana wa qad asayt. So this one, a hamza fatha, then followed by alif. Yeah, then that's the mad. That's the mad, and followed by sukun. The sukun is lam. So as you can see, the red is the mad. So that is just a mad sign. So hamza, fatha, alif, mad sign. Then lam sukun, lam sakina. That's the mad lazim. Al-an. And another example like walad-dallin, or this one. فإذا جاءت الصاخة. That's why, if you don't see where's the sukun in this case, but if we break it down, tashdid, that's the, like, what do you call it, tashdid or shadda. That's tashdid or shadda. It's like a W. That means actually it's two letters. So the first one is a letter with sukun, and the second letter with harakat. So if we break it down like this, you can see that's the mad fatha followed by alif. That's the mad sign, and after that, that's the sukun letter, and it's permanent. Whether you stop in that word or you carry on, continue wasal your recitation, the sukun will always be there. Like, it's permanent. And that's where mad lazim and kilmi, because it's the word of Quran. The word. How about the harfi? So harfi is, I think you guys know this. This is from, I took this from the Qaida screenshot, the Qaida Nuraniya. There's I think in one of the beginning, those are the names of the letter. So here Sheikh Sulaiman Al-Jamzuri said, أو في ثلاثي, or in the ثلاثي الحروف, in the ثلاثي letters. Thulathi letters. What is Thulathi? Thulathi is the Arabic letters name. How do you know the name? So that's the name of the Arabic letters. Alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, ho. Those are the names of the Arabic letters. So he said, if there are three letters, so for example, ba, or ba, it's only two. Only ba and alif. Tha, only two. But jim, that's three letters. Ja, jim, ya, and mim. Jim, that's three letters here. Jim, or like lam, that's three letters. Lam, alif, and mim. That's three letters. And has a mad in the middle. So that's the mad. Fatha followed by alif, noon, dhamma followed by waw. That's the mad in the middle. That's called thulathi letters, or in the Quran, حروف المقطعة مقطع قطع cut قط قطع cut, so the like the, the letters that being cut, like disconnected letters. قطع, that's the those are the harfi, and whenever it, so all of the thulathi letters like this example and has a mad in the middle, we would read it with lazim, with 6 harakat. That's the mad lazim harf. For example, like alif lam mim, alif lam, that is the lam, we will read with 6 harakat, because when we drill down the Arab, the letters name lam, it has 3 letters, yes, and has a mad in the middle, yes. So that's the requirements for mad lazim harfi. And I'm going to give the example later, but just to finish off the theory first. Mad lazim harfi. Let's go ahead. And mad lazim harfi, we've discussed that's the big division, the big types, the big lazim kilmi, lazim harfi. But there are also mukhaffaf muthaqal, mukhaffaf muthaqal. And we're going to discuss that. Mukhaffaf muthaqal. So here Sheikh Sulaiman Al-Jamzuri said, if muthaqal if idgham, muthaqalun in udghima, muthaqal if doing idgham, mukhaffafun kulun idha lam yudgham. So mukhaffafun if lam yudgham, if there's no idgham. So mukhaffaf is light, muthaqal is heavy. Light. So like this one is without idgham. There's no idgham, like there's no idgham, but here there's an idgham, like, because if you still remember what is idgham, idgham is like to merge, to insert, to merge, because you're merging the previous, like to the next. As you can see, there's the tashdid, the shadda, the tashdid, that's the idgham. And because there's an idgham, it's more heavy. And even if you still remember about the nabal, so mad lazim, you would read with a little bit of with a nabal. So nabal is like a bit of a pressure. So while let's this one. فإذا جاءت الصاخة, there's a pressure a bit. ولا الضالين, there's a little bit of pressure. If you don't put a pressure, then the idgham may not be like, it's a bit hidden, like the idgham. But that's just to do numbers so that you can a bit of pressure, so you can differentiate a bit whether it's a shidda with tashdid or not. So mad lazim harfi, kilmi harfi. So kilmi is on the word. Harfi is the huruf muqatta'a, the disconnected letters. Mukhaffaf is without idgham, light. Thaqal is heavy with idgham number. And just a little bit on that mukhaffaf muthaqal. So for mukhaffaf without idgham, maybe you can recite after me. I'll read this one and you can recite after me. So 6 harakat. الآن وقد عصيت ana wa qad asayt. This one more. Al S. الآن وقد كنتم به الآن وقد كنتم به. So actually, this one al-an, that's like the originally it's it's al-an al-an, but it's uh, become like that, replaced al-an, and these three uh, words you would find. I think I'll have it later here, but you can read it in two ways. In two ways, wajhan. There are two ways to face. Like you can read with ibdal or with six harakat, mad lazim, like we just read, like and this one, الذكرين, this one, Allah. So that's is if you have uh, learned about Arabic a little bit, maybe like هذا كتاب, هذا كتاب, هذا كتاب. This is a book. But if we add a hamza istifham, it becomes, is this a book? So like this one, al-an is now, but if you add al-an, or in the Quran, this becomes mad lazim, like al-an. It's become like a interrogative sentence, like become a question, and that's mad farq. You can read another, this three, you can also read with tasheel. So the first, how to read the first way, the first method is to read with ibdal, which is six harakat. The second one is with tasheel. So what is tasheel? Maybe if you have seen in Fussilat, ayah 44, in jami, jami, there's two hamza. This is quite similar like this. It's originally it's two hamza, jami. This one you must read with tasheel. So with tasheel is, so you don't read so is the second hamza you pronounce like clearly that's with a tasheel, but with tasheel is the second hamza you do it, it's between hamza and huruf mad, the mad of if so huruf mad of alif, if you just read the uh, the huruf mad, it sounds like that's the mad, the mad of fathah, that's the mad. If you read hamza, from here, there's a stop, then go. But tasheel is to read between them, to read between the two, so it would sounds like la la so like this one you would read jami jami wa arabi. So, and this one, this three, it can also be recited with that way with tasheel. So instead of al-an, you can read al-an, al-dhakarain, Allah, similar to the jami with tasheel, jami. So that's just some additional knowledge around tasheel and ibdal. it's not covered like in the in Tuhfatul Atfal in details like in the verse, but hopefully that's just some additional knowledge. Just to summarize again, Mad Lazim, there are two. In general, Mad Lazim Kilmi, Mad Lazim Harfi, Mukhaffaf, light without idgham, Muthaqal, heavy with idgham. And you can see with the tashdid. Now we're going to touch the details in Mad Lazim Harfi. So Mad Lazim Harfi, there are only 8 letters. Only 8 letters. And Sheikh Sulaiman Al-Jamzuri have written the combination of those letters in this word كم عسل نقص. So يجمعها حروف كم عسل نقص. So كم عسل نقص, if we break those down, كم عسل نقص, kaf, mim, ain, sin, lam, nun, qaf, sad. And if we break those down in terms of the letter, it's a thulathi letters. So it's 3 letters, yes, and in the middle there's a mad letters. Fathah followed by alif, kasrah followed by ya, fathah. This one's madli. This one will cover ain later. Sin, lam, fathah, fathah alif, dhammah, waw sukun, fathah. So yeah, this one thulathi, 3 letters, in the middle has a huruf mad. And there's a note here, wa ainu dhu wajhain, and ain has 2 face, like 2, again wajhain, like two ways of reading or reciting, while tul is 6 harakat is preferred, while tulu akhas. So the ain can be recited with 4 or 6, but 6 is preferable. So like this, kaf. So kaf, how many harakat? Kaf? 6. Ha, we're going to touch this later, but ha and ya, it's only 2. And ain can be 6, can be 4, as this note. And sad, 6. So you can read the ain with 4, like kaf 6 harakat, ha 2 harakat, ya 2 harakat. Ain can be 4 or 6, 6 preferable, and sad 6. Kaf ha ya ain sad. Or if you can cut down the ain, if you short of breath, ain read with 4 harakat, let's say, you can do that. But again, 6 is preferred. That's 4 is also acceptable as 2 face. So that's lazim harfi. So in huruful muqatta'ah, lazim harfi. So now the ha and ya, I mentioned only 2. Why? It's mentioned later in the next verse. In the next line. وَمَا سِوَى الْحَرْفِ الثُّلَاثِ لَا أَلِفْ, all besides thulathi letters and other than alif, then it is mad. Then it is mad. Sorry, this one, I'll fix the translation, but it's known as mad tabi'i. So outside of, if it's huruful muqatta'ah, in the beginning of the surah, the openers of the surah, Fatihus Surah, if it's besides the thulathi and also not alif, then it is known as mad tabi'i. Like and those are also the openers, huruful muqatta'ah, And in this expression, hayyin tahir, hayyin, alive, alive, tahir, like tahara, pure, tahara, tahir, hayyin tahir, that's the meaning. But hayyin tahir, ha, ya, ta, ha, ra. So this 5 letters, how long, like in terms of harakat, how many harakat do we read? Two, yeah, because it's mentioned, it's known as mad tabi'i. So mad tabi'i is two harakat. Uh, some of my teachers told me that if you read some tajweed books, maybe there's also someone mentioned that this also considered like mad lazim, but according to what I've learned, maybe it's a bit misplaced, because if it's mad lazim, that means needs to be 6. But Allahu a'lam. Uh, as far as with concern, this 5 we read with 2 harakat. Like ha mim, the ha we read with 2 harakat. Or like yasin, the ya we read with 2 harakat, because ya is this one, like in the beginning, the first ayah of yasin. So we don't read yasin, but yasin, ya is only 2 harakat. This one ha mim, the ha is 2 harakat, 2 counts, 2 beats. Ha mim, ha mim. So ha matabi, the mim, thulathi letters, so it's considered mad lazim. Same 6 harakat. If you want to, you let's just quickly check that. Um, six. Oh. So yeah, see, the ya 2 harakat. See, even if you can notice there's like a mad sign. So yeah, see, maybe yeah. So maybe there's I think one of the common mistakes as well, like the yeah is you recite too long, like yeah, see, something like that.
No, the common mistake is sin.
Oh, sin.
Sinnya we read too short.
Oh, too short, yeah.
Sin.
Oh yeah, that's also another one. Yasin or Yasin, and just 2 harakat. But the sin should be 6 harakat. Should be 6 harakat, because it's considered the huruf muqatta'ah that has a thulathi.
Salah nggak? Mistake kalau baca itu harakat. This is mistake.
In terms of mistakes, yes, it's a mistake. It's a lahan, but it's in terms of. I'll need to double check, but from my understanding, it's not considered lahan jali, because just like mad, other mad, like if mad, let's say mad 4 harakat, but you read it too long, then it's not lahan jali, but it's still a mistake, because or even like the mad lazim, any, yeah, so yeah, it's a mistake, lahan khafi. So for example, like walad dallin, the dallin, that's mad lazim, right? 6 harakat. But maybe you are in a hurry, you read with 4 harakat or even 2 harakat. You don't change the meaning, but in terms of the mad, you cut the harakat. But in terms of the meaning, it's the same meaning. However, if you from mad tabi'i, you remove the mad, then that's a lahan jari. That because you can change the meaning. But if it's, let's say, mad muttasil, you should read, let's say, 4 harakat, but you read 10 harakat. that's lahan khafi. That doesn't change the meaning. But still, in terms of reciting the Quran, it's still a mistake, a khafi, like a hidden mistake. Doesn't change the meaning, but still considered a mistake. So that's it. That's the huruf muqatta'ah or fawatihus suwar. So fawatihus suwar is the openers, the openers of the surah. Yeah, the in the Quran, a surah can be opened with a huruf muqatta'ah or like a praising words like alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah alladhi, and so on. Huruf muqatta'ah, qasam, and others. But huruf muqatta'ah is one of the openers of the surah, and all of the, so not everything is there in the Quran as in the huruf muqatta'ah. Only 14 letters. So the letters, Sheikh Sulaiman al-Jamzuri have combined them in this words sentence. Silhu suhairan man qata'ka dhashtahar. Silhu suhairan man qata'ka. So sad, lam, ha, sin, ha, yeah, and so on. So those are the 14 letters. You won't find, let's say, other wow or in the beginning of the surah or Azal, or it's only this letters. And the letters that needs to be recited with 6 harakat, considered lazim, is the kam asal naqas and mad tabi'i for hayyun tahir. Hayyun tahir, that's 2 harakat, like alif, lam, ra, 2 harakat. So in terms of summary, mad lazim in this, under this combinations of letters, only the kam asal naqas letters that considered mad lazim. There's lazim kilmi and lazim harfi. These are the lazim harfi examples. Kilmi mukhaffaf, light, if it's without idgham. Muthaqal is with idgham or with the tashdid or shadda. Mukhaffaf is with without idgham, and this one muthaqal is with idgham, like tasim. The mim, there's a idgham there. Alif lam, the mim is with idgham. That's muthaqal. That's just like the theory, the division of the mad lazim. But as far as we're concerned, when you meet mad lazim, read it with 6 harakat. 6 harakat. And in terms of the disconnected letters, huruf muqatta'ah, those all of the letters, alif, there's no mad, just read alif, like alif, lam, like only we recite or read the Arabic letters name, alif. Kam asal naqas, that's 6 harakat. Ain, you can choose 4 or 6, 6 preferred. And hayyun tahir, hayya tahara, two harakat mad tabi'i. So that's pretty much uh, what um, what we want to cover in the mad lazim. Any question, and can you follow so far? And do you have a like a big picture? What is mad lazim and divisions and yeah, inshallah. Any question? Inshallah, that's all for the. Even if we, you can see that the verses are quite long, but I have summarized in terms of explanation just to digest. Um, that's pretty much what we want to cover in Mad Lazim. Any question about Mad Lazim or even previous sessions that we have covered? So we even from Muqaddimah or rules of Mad, anything before we close? So we didn't practice much on the practical. It just give some examples. But if you need someone to guide you in terms of practice, or if you want someone to listen to your recitation, like to is this correct or not, like you need someone to correct you, like in for tahsin, you can let us know. You can let us know on the group chat, or send us an email, whether you prefer a group or a private. Then we'll see how we can accommodate, whether maybe can be a Zoom session, a group, or Zoom session one-on-one, or even just WhatsApp voice notes, whatever. Uh, we can work it out. If you have any requirements on that, let us know. Maybe I'll wait for 1 minute. If you have any questions, 1 minute, you can put on the chat, or if you want to say it in audio, feel free to unmute. Mad farq. So that there was there's a question. What is mad farq? So that was this one. So this three is farq. Yufarriq is to differentiate, as in to differentiate. Yeah, just the naming of this three is considered as mad farq, because to I'll double check the exact definition, but in terms of madfarq, these three are considered madfarq, and they have two ways of uh, on how to read. There are two ways. Um, Ibdal, 6 harakat, like in mad lazim, 6 harakat, al, or with tashil, like Allah, al-zakarain. That's another way to recite. But in terms of the exact definitions, I'll double check. I'll let you know. I'll put on the group, because I may need to I may need to write down that in English. I do have in other language in terms of, but I'll let you know, inshallah. Jazakallah for the question. Good question. It's not covered in the Tuhfatul Atfal, but yeah, it's just an additional knowledge in terms of mud. Even there are more other mud that we didn't really cover, but what we've covered in Tuhfatul Atfal is a general concept of tajweed, 61 lines, so that you at least you have all of the tajweed theories. What are the common tajweed? So like even like this one, matfa, maybe it's not so common, but like mad lazim, muttasil, wajib muttasil, jaiz munfasil, mad tabi'i, and others. Non sakinah, mim sakinah, all of those are quite common tajweed. So the Tuhfatul Atfal is covered like most of the common tajweed rules. In terms of the details, yes, there are other more, but we didn't cover that. But if you have questions, you can let us know. Inshallah, we will we'll try to answer your question. So, and there was also a question. I haven't summarized the previous questions, the answers to previous question. There were two questions about one is which one is the preferred or the suggestion, any suggestion whether using the Indo-Pak Mushaf or the Arabic Mushaf, the not Arabic, the Saudi Madinah Mushaf. That's one. I'll try to summarize that and post it in the group and the email once I've got the summary. And the second one is about the thought stopping sign. So in the Pak scripts, there are more signs, more stopping signs. I'll try to summarize those first, so that's easier to digest. Or if you need urgent answers, you can Google waqaf or stopping signs. But I want to try to summarize in a short summary. Hopefully can answer that in the next few days, inshallah. May Allah make it easy. Huh? Inshallah, that's if there's no further question, that's pretty much that we want to cover. So alhamdulillah, we have covered all of the theories that's mentioned in Tuhfatul Atfal. Even we deep dive a little bit further, but the target was to cover um, all of the tajweed rules that mentioned in the Tuhfatul Atfal, from the Nun Sakinah until Mad Lazim. And inshallah, the next session we will try to summarize all of the sessions that we have covered from session 1 until session 10, and then plus the khatimah, the closing. So there are short lines, short verses about the closing. وَتَمَدَنَهُ بِحَمْدِ اللَّهِ and so on.
We have more practice.
More practice,
Yeah. So like we do it now, like 80% is
theory. Yeah.
theory and so like maybe next time like 80% practice.
Oh yeah, yeah. And still, because if it's more practice, less theory, that means that's become a tahsin.
Yeah, because
course.
we already have the theory.
Yeah, now you have the theory. Maybe the next one could be like a tahsin program or something like that. Inshallah, yeah, inshallah, we can do that as a follow up for this, and even we can like maybe start with Surah Al-Fatiha. Let's say we can do that. If you have any suggestion, let us know. But yes, the target for this program is mainly on the theory, so that when you jump into the practical next time, you have that theory in mind, so you know, oh, this one, how to read, because how to read, how many harakat. If you don't know the theory, sometimes you don't really know how to read it unless there's a teacher and that can uh, give you feedback straight away. If not, then yeah, it's a bit hard, or maybe you need to listen to in Quran audio. But even the Quran audio, you need to choose. Sometimes they read, sometimes some imam uh, do read munfasil, let's say with two harakah, or but now you know the theory. Hopefully, it's easier when you want to do the actual practice of the Quran, inshallah. But inshallah, we can also discuss that when we get a chance in the next session. We can do like a live feedback in terms of programs, what programs that you want for the next, or any feedback on this program. We can discuss that live in the next session, inshallah, on next week, inshallah. And before, but yeah, as I mentioned, that just some part of the tajweed. We didn't cover sifat, we didn't cover uh, the characteristic qualities, because what I find is if you want to start learning makharij al-huruf, then you need more practice. There's not much point of learning makharij al-huruf if you don't practice, because when you start learning, oh, this is the exit points, the makhraj, you need to do practice. uh, then that will be a long program, a long course. It will be a long one, and it's better to combine with tahsin. But just on the temporary sifat, like the rules, ahkam, we can cover uh, mostly like 90-80% on theory, and the tahsin can be on a separate course. And don't forget to do the quizzes. So just one quiz left, and we'll give you the final feedback form link. And I still owe you one recording session on the session 4. Haven't get a chance to do that. But we'll let you know once we upload session 4 about ikhfa. Inshallah, that's all for today. Jazakumullah khair. Um, and I hope through learning tajweed, through learning the Quran, the words of Allah, this will motivate us to recite the Quran even more, and especially to prepare for the Ramadan in the next few months, 2 months away, inshallah, Ramadan. So if we want to finish, if we have a target to finish the entire Quran in Ramadan, then we need to practice from now on. We need to practice from now, and hopefully, may Allah accept our efforts today as a good deeds that would help us to enter His Jannah. Ameen. And let us close with the let us close with the dua kafaratul majlis. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Jazakallah khair Ustaz Bayu.
Wa iyyakum jazakallahu khair.
Ya, 12 berapa? Kamu turun dulu.